Hi, welcome back to another web development video where I show you how to make modern websites using HTML5, CSS3, and a little bit of JavaScript. In this video, we're going to pick back up into our web process. This is going to be video number 3, and this video is going to focus more on research, which is actually a part of the design process once you get into designing things, whether it's for print or it's for the web. Research is a very key part because it speaks to positioning the product, the service, the business into the marketplace. So you want to make sure that what the person has done to position the actual product, the way it looks, feels, behaves, the types of materials used, whatever they've done, they position the product as a certain place in the market. Is this the cheap option? Is this the luxury option? Is this somewhere in the middle? So whoever has made this product, whoever has created this service, is looking to reach a particular market segment. Hopefully they've thought of that while they're making the product, while they're choosing what goes into the product. So we need to also position the website so that it speaks to that same target audience. And that means going through, before we start the design, before we start laying out sitemaps, and before we start doing wireframes and then moving those into design, like full-on mock-ups with color and images and stuff like that. So we want to know, where is this website positioned? Are you positioning yourself like Apple? Are you positioning yourself like eBay? Are you positioning yourself like Warby Parker? What is the positioning? Who are you going for? So I've gone through our sitemap, if you remember, in the second video, and you can go back and watch these videos. They'll all be in the playlist. But in the second video, we created this sitemap, and now I've gone back in. I've created these 4 different types of pages. So I was thinking, a lot of times I wouldn't do this necessarily for myself, but in trying to explain to you, I'm trying to put my process on paper so that you can follow it. A lot of the process over the years just gets put into my head. So a lot of these things, I'm thinking, okay, when I'm designing this page, it needs to be like a form. When I'm designing this page, it needs to be more like e-commerce. But just so that we can all be on the same page and you can sort of visually see what's in my head, I've created these 4 types of pages. So an e-commerce page, more of a blog style page, a contact, and a marketing style page. Now, a marketing style page is more, it's trying to show you features, it's trying to sort of give you product shots and things like that, but it's not necessarily trying to sell you. There's not a lot of pricing and stuff like that on there. It's just sort of telling the story of the product or the service, and trying to get you into the right place, either to buy something or to go deeper into the website. So most of our pages, especially top level pages, you can see are going to be marketing pages. We're not planning to put a lot of e-commerce or pricing or things like that onto the initial sort of pages that we're going to send people to. When you get from the parents and teachers down into the activities are going to have a little bit more of a blog style feel, more like articles than marketing types of web pages. So those will have a distinct look and feel from the rest of these marketing pages. The retailer contact is obviously going to be a contact style page. And then the books and the stickers pages, the plan is just, those are just hardcore. We're going to put them on there like an e-commerce grid and just lay it all out there for the user to be able to see. That way then they can choose to go off to, remember this site is for getting users from some sort of social or marketing message to this website, to the website where they can actually make the purchases. So it's sort of a middleman part of the funnel, getting them to the purchase funnel. So these would be the pages that kick them off to the purchase funnel. So everything sort of flows down to these pages, in some sort of way. So each of these pages will need to connect to these different pages here, the e-commerce tab pages. So when we're thinking about design, we need to think about all the different types of pages that we're doing, because you shouldn't create an e-commerce page the same way that you create a marketing style page. Once someone is looking at a list of things to buy, they don't want to be bombarded by a bunch of words and salesmanship. That part should have already happened in the process. And so now they're just getting right to, okay, show me the products, let me see the pricing, and then that requires a different style, a different layout even. But you want to keep the overall style as far as color and feel and look. But as far as the layout is concerned, it's going to be a different style of layout. So what we need to do now is we need to just sort of remember these 4 categories, and we're going to go off and we're just going to do some research. And so I'm not going to do a ton of this, but I'm just going to show you a few examples of how I would go from researching actual websites that are in sort of the verticals that we're looking for, and how can I take those and put them back into XD so that I have some sort of frame of reference. So when I'm doing wireframes, I can look at when people are buying stickers, what are they growing accustomed to do? What are the pages looking like? If you can tap into what users are accustomed to doing, like let's say you wanted to open an Amazon competitor, you should go to Amazon and you should find out what they're doing, because what they're doing is a product of a lot of research and trial and error. And in some ways you can sort of stand on their shoulders and you can begin doing that based off of their own research. So they're doing something that's on the back end probably that you can't see, but as far as layout, as far as features, these are things that people have proven over the years that they like and that they have grown accustomed to when they shop at Amazon, to having these particular things. So if you want to compete in that space, they've sort of raised the bar to that whatever level is happening there. So if they're using AI to show different things to the users, you need to at least fake that, or you need to create your own AI system in order to put those things in front of the users. Or if they're doing one-click shipping or shopping, you should try to get one-click shopping. And if you can't, then you need to sort of backtrack into maybe the next best thing that you can do. But if they're putting product photos in a certain way, if they're showing these different things in a certain way, you should take notice of what they're doing. What does it look like on mobile? What does it feel like? Go to a bunch of retailers, major retailers, if you want to do a retail shop, and say, what are all these people doing? What is the style? What is the trend now? What are people accustomed to doing while they're shopping on their phone or while they're shopping on the tablet? So these are the types of research that you can sort of link into and sort of piggyback off of their research, even if you don't have a big research team to be able to go out and do a bunch of work or whatever to find out user preferences and things like that. Now, there are places online to go where they only research and they don't have any sort of retail stake in a user base. They're just researchers, UI researchers, UX researchers. The Nielsen Norman Group is a big one, and they do a bunch of research sort of like academically, write white papers and put out things that say, okay, this is how users are reacting to all these different situations on the web. And then you can actually implement that research back into your designs and back into your development. So those are good things to keep an eye on and to pay attention to. I get that the Nielsen Norman Group email every week, and so there's always interesting things that come through, interesting articles to read about research that they're doing for user experience and user interactions. But if you just go to major websites, you'll see a trend. You'll see what they're doing. And if you link into that trend, knowing that your customers are similar or your user base is similar to them, then you're probably going to have some success because the users won't have to think too much to figure out what you're doing. They'll be like, oh, this is really similar to whatever.com, which I'm already accustomed to using. So don't stray too far from what the web is doing, but you also want to bring in maybe your own little touches. If you see things on those websites that you're like, that's not a very good user experience, I think I could improve that by doing this, then do those things and sort of follow your gut and follow what you're doing. Apple.com may or may not be for people 65 or older, but if your website is for people 65 or older, you can have that same style, but maybe you need to manipulate some things, change some things to be able to allow a user base that's older to be able to understand what's going on more quickly, be able to touch buttons. Maybe they need to be bigger, that type of thing. So just thinking about your specific target and not just trying to reproduce those websites, but also using them as a guide to what's going on. That's talking a lot about those things, but it's sort of an important step in the research process, because you can research anything, right? But you kind of need a direction that you need to go. So our website is about stickers, right? So it seems normal to me to look up just the general keyword that we're looking for. So we get all these different types of things, but we're not necessarily only looking for stickers. We're looking for Christian stickers or sticker activities. Those are things that we have. So if we look back here, we have sticker activities. And so that's going to be one thing that we need to search for. We have sort of these what parents can do and teachers can do, what's available for them. So these marketing messages, and then we have these e-commerce. So when I search for stickers, you can see that the e-commerce is really strong, right? That's going to be probably the easiest research that you can do for any particular product. And so I'm not going to go to Amazon because I know what sort of layout and style I'm going to get. But I'm not familiar with Sticker Mule. And so I'm just going to start opening a few of these up. These are not your common ones. Etsy is pretty common. And yes, I'm going to go to the second page if I could ever get there. Okay, so what's this one? And stickers, that's interesting. That feels a little bit more generic. Smile makers, that seems like something similar to what we're looking for. Okay, so here's Sticker Mule, right? So they have their categories here. They have a little bit of marketing material. So this is what we're talking about as far as a marketing type website. So you're giving product shots, you're doing your product in the wild, and what it might look like. They have some reviews here that may or may not be important for us. So this looks good to me. And what I'm going to do is when I find something good, I'm going to collect it. And the way that I personally collect things, especially screenshots, is I have this, it's called full page screen capture. It's on Google Chrome, in the Chrome, what they call the extensions. If you look up full page screen capture, you'll find it. It's got this little, like an old school camera. And what it does is it just takes a full page screenshot of whatever I'm looking at. Even if I do my web tools and I'm doing the device toolbar, so it's responsive. You can see how the website changes over time. You can see things change as you make the screen size smaller. So this would be like a phone size, a large phone, and then this would be iPad or tablet size, and then this would be sort of your laptop view, 1400 pixels wide. So I can take a screenshot of each of these, and all I have to do is just click this button, and it does the full page screen capture for me. And you can see that it's moving down the page. And what I love is that when I'm using the Chrome Dev Tools, that it doesn't do the full browser screen. It only does what is inside the screen part that I want, right? So it gives me a true representation of this. And then I can copy the image and go back into XD. I actually have something here, and if I paste it, then you can see that I pasted in what is this called? This is the mobile version, right? So I pasted in the mobile version. I don't really need this. I pasted in the mobile version here, and then I can go back to the website. And I don't need this, but I can go to the tablet version and do the same process. And you would do this for each of the websites that you want, but I'm going to take you all the way through one website. So again, just copy the image and bring it in right next to this one. I don't think that copied. Oh, it gave me a message. Okay, you had to wait for that. Well, it's good to know. I never knew that before. So I've pasted in, and then now we have our tablet version. And if you guessed that we're going to do the full screen version, you could do it this way, or you can just get rid of this altogether and just do the full screen like this, whatever your browser is at. But if you needed to do it at a specific screenshot size, then you would do it at that specific screen size. And so again, we're just going to copy, we'll wait, and we'll paste it in. So now we have one website, and this website is going to be Sticker Mule, and Sticker Mule is going to be one of our references for design. So you can see that we have each screen size, so the mobile, the tablet, and the desktop view. And you could put these on a canvas, you can put them each on an individual canvas, whatever you want to do. You can see that I'm using Adobe XD, and I have quite a bit of room. Like, I wanted to move these up here. You know, I have quite a bit of room here to put a bunch of different references. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to collect all these references, and I'm going to begin to create my sitemaps using bits and pieces. Sometimes I'm doing an analysis of what do most of these websites have in common. Ideally, you want to research using the keywords that you think people are going to use for your website, and then you would use websites that are similar to that, just because you want to be on those pages where those people are searching for them. So either you're using search engine marketing, where you actually pay for Google AdWords and stuff like that to get onto certain searches, or you just want to try to do some organic traffic and get onto particular pages. Whatever it is, whatever's on that page, you want to be a refreshing change, maybe something more professional, if a lot of those websites aren't very professional, or you want to be similar enough that people say, oh, okay, this looks legit too. It doesn't look like a piece of trash, you know, or a website that's just going to take my money, and I'm not going to get a very good product. So you want to be able to compete in the right way. So that's how I would do it. I would go in and take a few different screenshots like this, and then I would use those as a reference, and I would do multiple ones. I told you there are several websites here. So the Sticker Mule is one, and this one, Sticker U, a little bit different, but still very similar. They have the categories here at the top, and some related products, a little bit more. So this is a little bit of marketing material here. It's a little much with the text. I would probably do that. They have frequently asked questions, and then they have a bunch of reviews for their stickers, and This kind of stuff is important to let you know what sorts of payments they take. And then they have these drop downs, which get you a little bit deeper into the website, right? They have some things up here with a shopping cart and search, and I would probably go ahead and take this one as a reference too, because it's a little bit different than the other. Here's another one where you can print custom stickers. That's not exactly what I'm looking for, but again, they have a way to get to the library, and then they have some specific ones here. Probably wouldn't land on that, but this one seems like something I would, especially for the e-commerce side. So when we're displaying our stickers or our sticker groups, this might be a reference that I can use, for the way that they lay these things out, the way they're using this left side navigation to be able to pull up different stickers and filter. They have some details here, which doesn't feel very relevant or anything, but you can see how they lay out their header. There's quite a bit of information up here to take in. And then the last one that we pulled up, Smile Makers. This one maybe has a bit more of the look and feel, not the layout. I don't like the layout, but the look and feel. It's bright. The first thing you see here is a kid. You see products that obviously look like, these are for children. So this is hitting, at least aesthetically, a little bit closer. Lots of bright colors everywhere, red and yellow. It's very warm, and red is sort of an action color for most cultures. But you can see that this would be a little bit more of an e-commerce style website as well. But very clear calls to action here and over here. Very clearly the filtering system, it's very clear what everything is, and just kind of keeps going, and that's mostly just going to be a little bit of marketing message here, but mostly e-commerce. So I would also look at this one. You can see the navigation. Look at all those categories. Wow, that's a lot. We don't have that many stickers because we don't just sell stickers on this website that we're making, but there will be some opportunities for categories, so we have to think about how to deal with that too. Okay, and so again, I would just take each of those websites and sort of do this thing right here, where I'm looking at each website all together, and then I might even take all of the mobile versions and sort of put them all side by side, even though they're from different companies or different websites. I want to look through and I want to research, what is similar. Do most of them have a similar sort of heading, where there's a hamburger menu and some sort of checkout thing? We don't need checkout because we're pushing them off to another page. So, that's a space that we can sort of divert. Maybe there's something else that we could put there that would be more helpful to our particular users. They go right into the reviews, and then they have all their categories, right, with some icons, and they're trying to show you different, they're using this mule motif to show you the different things. So rounded corner ones, clear stickers, vinyl lettering, static clings. So they're trying to use some of these icons to show you very quickly what they're doing, because if they just showed you the pictures of the stickers, you wouldn't know necessarily what they're meaning, because maybe you use a different terminology for static cling stickers. And then they give you some details about shipping, some more marketing, and then they have these reviews, right, and then a link to all the reviews. They give you a little firsthand of sort of a conglomerate or an aggregate of the statistics, and these are all their statistics. So maybe if you go to a different website, they might have something different to say about Sticker Mule. So those are always things that should be taken with a grain of salt. Statistics are, but at first glance, they're impressive. 97% of the people would order it again. So that tells me a lot about the users who are ordering this. So it feels like a reliable service. That feels like something that we would want to do. And maybe that's something that we can implement. This might be more important for retailers in a lot of ways because they would be coming back to order. So maybe on our retail page, we could put something like that where there's statistics of reorder statistics that help them to see, okay, these are going to sell, and this is a trusted place that's going to get you the product and have the product in stock. So there's a lot of different things to sort of research and go through with each of these different websites, but I would really just collect a bunch of them. You can see how the layouts change over, this layout here moves to this sort of horizontal layout. And so I'm looking at a bunch of different things on the website, just trying to get a sense across different websites what they're doing that's the same, what are they doing that's unique, and maybe that's something unique that we could put into our own website that would make sense for our user base. So that's the research component. And again, I would just sort of fill out this XD file, and I'll actually do that. I'm not going to do that in the video, but in the next video you'll see that I've actually gone through those websites I just showed you. Excuse me. And we're gonna sort of look at these side by side, and we'll start making some choices about putting wireframes together. And we'll do several different styles of wireframes. That's why I wanted to have a few different styles of website so that we can get a few variations on the wireframes, just to see what's the easiest way for users to get from point A to point B, what's going to give the most information in the least amount of space, and what's going to help us to get people from this website over to the e-commerce funnel that we want them to get into, the shopping cart funnel. So hopefully that was helpful for you. I know it's a lot of talking, and I'm just trying to explain the process that's in my head whenever I'm looking at each of these different types of pages, and when I'm looking at the website project as a whole. And we're always referring back to our beginning documents that we set up in the first video. And as we build out our pages, we're also going to always be referring to the sitemap that we did in the second video. And as we get into the actual designs or development, we're going to be referring back to this video where it's helped us to set up not only the layout, but also kind of the look and feel. We're going to set up fonts. We're going to set up those types of things so that they're consistent with the vertical that we're in, which is stickers, and being able to make everything clear and legible, exciting in some ways, because we're selling sort of a fun product, and so it needs to be fun. It needs to have some fun qualities to it. So we're thinking about all those things even as we're choosing fonts and colors and styles. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down in the comments section below. I appreciate you watching the video. I know these are kind of long, and I don't know if they're very rambly, but there's a lot of information in them, so I'm not going to push them out too fast. It takes me a little bit of time to think about what would be the next logical thing in the process, and then how can I set that up so I can show you. So it takes a little bit of time to put these together, but I hope that by slowing down the process, it really helps you to see all of the small steps in between, and not just, okay, go wireframe, okay, go design, okay, go into development. Like, that's easy to do, the 7 steps of web design process. But what about inside of each of those 7 steps? You get this massive list of things that you need to do, and always referring back to other things. And how does it actually work? How do you actually go through and make a website that's professional, that looks like you put some thought into it, and that takes the user into account and takes the business goals into account. So that's a big part of what we're doing. And that will make you a valuable web designer whenever you can prove to the client that you are thinking about both the business interests and the user interests, and where those things connect is where we want this website to live, because when both of those needs are met, everybody's happy and everybody makes money. So people are willing to spend money and you're going to make money. So that's the sort of thing that we want the client to be able to hear and to understand and see. And if you can get every project into that sweet spot, you'll be doing very good for yourself and for the clients. And probably have repeat business from those clients because they'll be happy with the work that you've done. All right. If you haven't subscribed, click the subscribe button and click the bell notification or to get notifications whenever I upload new videos. Please share the videos. Some people have said I deserve more subscribers. I don't know what I deserve, but I'm very happy about the 6,000 people who've subscribed. It's like 0.00008% of the world is subscribed to my channel. And so that's a very humbling and a very big deal to me. And so I'm thankful for that. And one way that you can pay it forward very easily is to just click the thumbs up button. It's really easy and it helps the video get discovered and can help more people. So if that's something that you would like to help me with, just click the thumbs up button, and that's very helpful to me. All right, I think that's it. I appreciate you watching so long and so far, and I hope that this process has been very helpful to you and will continue on all the way through to the end of the project. So this could be a super long project, I don't know, but hopefully it's thorough in a way that will help you and will be able to set you up to be able to do web design fully from the beginning to the end in the future. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.